All right, welcome back to the NeverBoard gaming community in Spring Hill, Florida. Round 4 of the Store Championship, the Modern Liliana tournament. We have Sean Gray piloting Blue-Black Living End against me, Alex Mangan, piloting 5-color humans.
Nice. So, you always tend to tell me that you think that the human deck does pretty good against spell-based and combo decks.
Oh yeah, and this deck's no exception. When I heard I got paired against Sean Gray for this round, I was very excited because I'm like, oh, I know this matchup is really good for me. I know immediately what his deck does, and I can just ban out his best cards with Meddling Mage or just get information from Kitesail Freebooter and take away.
Truly. So, what are, in your opinion, the best calls right away to go for? Do you hit As for Told, or...?
I did call As for Tolls with one Meddling Mage at some point. I think it's this game where I did it. Anyway, I won the die roll, so I'm going to start off with this Ether Vial here. But I believe it's actually better to call the Living End post-board.
I see. Alright, the Teleria West comes out. But nothing? You kind of stuck on lands here? Nope. Okay.
No, I did find the Cavern of Souls there. I did keep a one-lander, but I had the Ether Vial, so I figured I was going to be fine. Meddling Mage.
Cycle's looking for something. I don't know what he could have found.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sean Gray's list here. So for those of you who don't know what the Blue-Black Living End deck does, it's not only a Living End deck, but this is actually more like a straight mono-blue control deck until it finds As Foretold and then casts Living End for free, and then gets all the creatures that it cycled back into play while destroying everything your opponent has.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He has some tricky stuff in there, like I think the Bajuka Bog and Tormod's Crypt as well, just so he can exile your opponent's graveyard to make sure that there is no counterplay.
Well, speaking of counterplay, Sean Gray did find the Field of Ruin. So he's going to be able to take out my Cavern of Souls, replace it with just that basic Plains. That's the only basic in the entire Humans deck. There are some that run a basic island, but I don't.
That makes sense. Yeah, there's too much Merfolk running around our shop. You can't be playing islands. So is this the one where you called As Foretold here?
I'm pretty sure I called As Foretold.
Cool.
I did not get a look at his hand, did not find the Kitesail Freebooter. But I got Bob. So we're going to start drawing some extra cards here.
And moving to 3, cool.
Right as I find the Mantis Rider.
Nice, that is amazing.
Here we go. It begins.
Ether Vialing a hasty dude feels pretty good.
Although now I can hardcast it with this unclaimed territory. So
What'd you do? Maybe the Lancer is in hand? Oh my gosh.
I didn't want to give it away. I had
The
to.
blowout. The double Mantis Rider.
Always nice to see. Always feels good.
My gosh.
You cannot see the giant grin on my face, folks, but I definitely have one.
That is the kind of curve you want to see. Man, Aether Vial seems extra powerful when you have hasty dudes to take advantage of.
Oh, yeah. Them and Kitesail Freebooter, or excuse me, not Kitesail Freebooter, Kessig Malcontents.
Oh yeah, right now that'd be the end of the game.
Meddling Mage going to be revealed off of this Dark Confidant. So at this point, I know Sean Gray has Cryptic Command. But I'm about to make a misplay here. I actually had 3 Mantis Riders.
Holy moly.
That's the misplay. I should have waited to declare attack and then let him tap my team and then flashed in the Mantis Rider. But I realized it immediately and I went, oh well, I'm in it now. I might as well just declare attack and let him play it.
You don't get another declare attack though, do you?
No, I don't.
Like if you were to do it in the opposite direction, it would just leave him untapped.
If I were to do it, so what would happen is I would say go to
combat, right?
I would say go to combat. He tap my team, and then I'll be like, all right, my team's tapped. Activate Ether Vial, play Mantis Rider, attack.
Cool.
That would be the
correct way. If you wait
to
till declare attackers, it's too late to cryptic them, right?
Yeah, well, it's too late now. Another Meddling Mage. This time I'm going to name Cryptic Command because I don't want to get caught like that again. That and I'm
pretty much the safe bet is only saving grace really at this point.
Yeah, I am reasonably certain he has no board wipes. Like I thought for a second that maybe he had Batu's Last Reckoning in his deck and that would be like his only out, but that's just me having too much standard experience really.
Boom, you got him.
I mean, it's
it's hard for any deck to deal with that many Mantis Riders. Alright, so looking at his sideboard here, I'm imagining those dismembers are going to be coming in trying to, interact with you in a little bit more.
Yeah, dismembers are going to be coming in from Sean Gray for sure because he needs to be able to kill my stuff, and he doesn't really have much in the way of black mana, it turns out. It's mostly a mono-blue deck, but it just happens to have a couple black spells in it. I don't have that many green creatures, so the Hibernation's not really going to help. Liliana's Sanctity's not really going to help.
He
Tormod's
really doesn't
Crypt
have
will.
much for you.
Yeah, he's just more graveyard hate and then the dismember because he doesn't want to keep killing my humans and then suddenly have them all come back again when he finally finds Living End. So Tormod's Crypt is one of those cards that he's going to reach for. I think he also takes the Sorcerer's Spyglass just to stop me from Ether Viling.
That makes sense. What other activated abilities are there? I guess not many, really.
No, there's basically none. It's all ETB triggers. If people start playing Torpor Orb and sideboards, my deck's in trouble.
And so what are you going to bring in this matchup? The extra copies of Kitesail Freebooter, or are you already mainlining the 4?
I'm already maining the 4, so what I'm going to bring in Zathrid Necromancer because that interacts with his Living End very well. Because once my creatures go away, I'm just going to get zombies, so I'm going to be able to interact with this board. I'm also going to bring in Sin Collector, I believe.
Yeah, just upping the hand disruption chances.
Mm-hmm. And then Reclamation Sage to destroy As Foretold itself.
Very cool. That's one thing I love about the human deck, just has such a utility sideboard.
Oh wait, sorry, 2 more. Grafdigger's Cage. Forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
This is me just double checking what I'm removing. It looks like 8 cards, so yeah, I think I also run in the Grafdigger's Cage. So I have Grafdigger's Cage and Zathrid Necromancer just to punish him for going all in on this Living End.
Man, Zathrid Necromancer. Such an underrated card. Really good.
Yeah, we were just talking in between recordings that I had brought it in against Falcon in round 2, and he got the Through the Breach Emrakul on me, didn't kill me, but because I had the Necromancer on board and was able to sacrifice 2 creatures, I ended up getting 2 zombies back.
Nice.
I just killed him on my ensuing turn.
Annihilators sacrifice the creatures?
Yeah,
It's
sacrifice 6 permanents.
Cool.
So I'm like, well, I have exactly 6 permanents, but one of them is a Zathrid Necromancer, so because everything goes away at the same time, it sees itself and the other human.
Pretty good. And crack back for 4, that's probably enough to kill him.
It was. He was 3 damage from dead. I just happened to have enough.
Oh, man. That's got to feel pretty bad. But what else can you do as the Through the Breach deck? Nothing really.
Anger of the Gods.
Oh, yeah, board wiping with Zathrid on, though, feels pretty bad.
Well, not with Anger of the Gods. It sends him to
Oh,
exile.
yeah, you're right. That is the hard counter. Alright, Sean's going to opt to play first. Let's see if he can get a good start at assembling his pieces.
Suspending Ancestral Vision to start with, always strong.
Mm-hmm. Even more powerful later in the game. Once As Foretold's out, he just gets to draw off it. Insane.
Yeah, having a Plains in my opening hand is pretty bad here because I know he's got Field of Ruin. Because now I'd have no replacement for whatever land he decides to draw a Field of Ruin.
It just turns into like a wasteland at this point.
Amazing. Yeah. A worse wasteland, but a wasteland
Yes.
nonetheless. He's got another Ancestral Vision. Sean going to be loaded up with cards. There's Cavern of Souls.
That's going to be helpful.
Into Kitesail. It's going to trigger...
Snag. Oh my gosh, double dismember, double disallow?
Yeah, it was that kind of game. I saw both of his dismember, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll take one of them. Force you to play it on this Kitesail if you want to ever see it again.
That's a lot of damage for him to have to take to get stuff off your board. It kind of should make you a little happy as a human player, I bet.
Yeah, it does. Makes me extremely happy. Sean opting not to launch the dismember at the champion at this time. I'm going to wait for it to get big enough to where it's a wash on life payment. And he top decks another Field of Ruin. Bye-bye Cavern of Souls. At least eventually. It depends on whether he's got anything that he wants to disallow.
Yeah, he's got to be wondering if you're stuck on land or not. He decides to go for it.
That turns out to be smart because keeping me on one land. He doesn't know that I don't have whether or not I have another land yet, but he is going to aggressively go for it and leave himself 1 mana open for the dismember.
Yep, just as you fail to find. You ever thought about adding any more basics, or you kind of think it's fine how it is?
I think it's fine how it is. I've had a couple friends, actually both of the judges in this tournament, swear to me up and down that I need to have one of each basic to hardcast Mantis Rider.
That's weird.
I can sort of see the logic with the island. I don't see the logic with the mountain because there aren't very many red cards in this deck.
Truly.
It feels like they are, because all the red cards in this deck are high impact, but there just aren't that many of them. There's 7 total, I believe. Excuse me, 9.
Being what? Mantis Rider, Kessig?
4 Mantis Rider, 1 Kessig Malcontents, 2 Darfleet Daredevil, and 2 Izzet Staticaster.
Oh, okay. And those last 2 are just sideboards, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, the champion's going to get dismembered here. Thalia is going to come down a bit late, but not much I could do about that, whether I cast her before or after combat.
Super strong card in this matchup, too. It's going to slow him down.
Yeah, so I know the disallow's turned off. I know he doesn't have that other dismember anymore, so now I'm thinking, okay, if I can get more gas out here, I can actually just take him down. Another Horizon Canopy, though. This is not an optimal land base for me. Not only am I taking damage from my own lands, but I'm not getting that many colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dead Phantasmal Images right now.
Dead Phantasmal Images, dead Mantis Riders, dead just about anything that isn't white.
Mm-hmm. Really need to find a Cavern. That hurt you so bad, but maybe you can find a Unclaimed or something.
Well, I am swinging in for 5, so I've got a clock on him.
Yeah, just 2 turns remaining.
But one of those Ancestral Visions is going to go off. Sean will pay for it with that Teleria West. Let me take that die off the table for you.
This is going to be the most important play of the game here for Sean. If he can't muster up something, he's in bad shape.
Now he's got enough mana for Disallow again. But
yeah, you're still fending off the Cryptic.
no, he's going to tap out for Curator of Mysteries. Get himself some defense.
Nice. Pretty strong card. What is that? It's a 4/4 with flying?
4/4 with flying, and whenever you cycle or discard a card, scry 1.
Yeah. Just helpful in allowing him to kind of set up his draws, try to get that As Foretold or a Living End out as fast as possible.
Oh yeah, Curator of Mystery is one of the strongest creatures in his deck, and very well worth hard casting.
Yeah, it's really cool to see like the standard format cards making an impact on the modern metagame through this Living End deck.
Oh yeah, Amonkhet made this deck a thing. I mean, not only just based on the fact that As Foretold was printed in that set, but there were just so many different new cycling cards that you could add to
River
it.
Serpent, I forget its actual.
We have Striped Riverwinder.
Yeah, that thing is so cool. The 5/5 hexproof.
Yeah.
Try to deal with that after it gets Living Ended. Good luck.
Yeah, Striped Riverwinder is the big thing. I think he also has River Serpent, but I can't be. No, I guess he doesn't. It's not on his list. So it's Striped Riverwinder, Curator Mysteries, Street Wraith, of course, because that also plays in like the Death Shadow decks. We see that card a lot.
Great cycle power. So he finds some more mana. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on how are you going to break through this? Are you just like...
Right now, I'm just kind of sitting back and kind of hoping he doesn't top deck something else. I mean, I'm just kind of throwing away my Horizon Canopies here because I need some other color mana so that I can get information about his hand, because I'm holding another Kitesail Freebooter. And what I want to do is make sure it's safe to actually swing into it, because I don't want to get blown out by some kind of bounce spell or another kill spell that I'm not seeing yet.
Oh wow, he just decides to come at you. This is a pretty brazen play.
Yeah, sending the Curator on offense when you're at 8 life against a Humans deck, very risky, and there's the Cavern of Souls. That's exactly what I needed to get around the Disallow.
Yeah, he didn't find it last turn off all the digging, but the digging still found it for you eventually.
And there's the Kitesail.
Oh, taps it all.
Got a Cryptic in response, and he misses the fact that Cavern of Souls says can't be countered, so he only gets the tap mode.
Ooh, would have been a little better to draw the card there, huh?
And I see the other Field of Ruin, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, man. Even though at this point you have enough of a board presence where it might not be a problem. The only thing you really have to fear is him somehow finding the Living End, but it's not going to be able to do anything with it.
He's got the Living End in hand already. It's the As Foretold.
Oh, the
I'm
As
waiting
Foretold,
for.
excuse me.
So I'm just going to take the Living End away from him, leaving him with 2 Remands, 2 Disallows, and the Field of Ruin. Sean finding a very control-heavy hand. And now that I know it,
But none of the pieces right now.
Field of Ruin going to get set off without blinking.
Gosh, such a powerful card, being able to ramp yourself in a situation like this.
And against the Humans deck that only runs the 1 basic. This is a tense situation.
But you're getting to the point where you can just kind of start swinging out, even if he does eat one of your creatures.
Yeah, now I don't even actually care about losing this member, because it'll cost him at the very least 2 life to cast, usually 4, because that River of Tears is not going to provide black mana unless he played a land that same turn. So he can't tap it for black at instant speed. And the card he top decked was another Ancestral Vision. That's his third of the game, and all he's been finding is counter spells, and they're not going to help get these humans off the table. I think this is the turn where I just decide to go all in, and I don't even care what he eats with this Sphinx.
Yeah, my guess is probably just the one with the most power. Are they all tied right there?
The Thalia's Lieutenant's a 2-2. Thalia's a 3-2. Kitesail Freebooter's a 2-3. The other Kitesail Freebooter's a 1-2.
Yeah, you just need the biggest one, I think. I don't know if Dismember's going to do you much good when your life is this low.
And I think that was Sean's logic, too, because this is the turn, I think, where I just decided to go ahead and swing.
Do you recall, is your hand kind of dead at this point in time?
It's not dead, it's just I can't cast anything in it. And I know he's hiding behind so many counter spells that I need to top deck Cavern of Souls specifically to actually get gas again. So this is the part where I'm just like, you know what? Go ahead. Eat one of my humans. You will be taken to a very low life total and probably dead next turn.
That's smart, actually, to take out Thalia right there. It's going to make his defensive options a little less mana intensive.
Now, you notice that Teleria West has basically been tapped since it came onto the battlefield because he keeps having to use it to pay the Thalia tax over and over and over.
Yeah. So finally freed up from that, but 3 life left. If he can't put up some sort of defense right now, it's curtains for our young hero.
And I know for a fact that Sean does not have both Living End and As Foretold. He can only have one or the other. And cycling Street Wraith when he's at 3 life already, oh, that's desperation. And all he does is find the 4th Ancestral Vision.
Yuck. Oh my gosh. Maybe 2 of those Ancestral Visions could have been an As Foretold, and he still would have had a good shot in that match. But
yeah, I don't know how long he was holding on to that Living End for, but...
only found the one. I wonder, does he play 4 Living End?
He should. I think he does. Yeah, he does. And
Nice.
4 As Foretold.
Well, Alex, you continue to go undefeated in the championship so far, and Sean takes his first loss. A good showing from all of our favorite players today. So make sure, if you guys really like to see these cool new decks like Living End, tell us about it in the comments. And we're going to move on and keep continuing this tournament all the way till we see who the champion is.
There's only one other undefeated player left. Guess who it is? Michael Norbit.
Norbit, yep. And we've been seeing a lot of him, and we're going to see a little more too.